Hey, it's another episode that you weren't waiting for. It's the Jaking Off Show. I want to take a couple minutes just to thank my fellow patrons over at patreon.com. You guys really help me get through this and help pay for this because if we're going to be honest, I don't want to work in restaurants anymore. And I want to have this pay a bill every now and then. I'm at a rate now where I break completely even on all the monthly expenses. It's a small amount, but it helps me from losing money on this. But I would like to gain something from this. I do find value in my entertainment skills. So instead of it just being a boring podcast where only a handful of you listen, I ramble on about the current events of the day or the week or whatever. These episodes expire rather quickly, don't you think? That's why we keep it going. And I've decided to make the Jaking Off Show just a little bit more than a podcast. For $1 a month, you'll get to see all different kinds of things. You'll get to see cartoon karaoke, in which I'll do a song in a cartoon voice that I know how to do. Or on Monday mornings, I do something called the Monday Morning Meditations. I'm like this high-octane, like nervous person, but I keep it together by just having a short meditation to myself. And I record a session to help you with your week and your battles that you deal with. And we help win these battles by taking a step back, dialing it back, and breathing, basically. You listen to the sound of my voice, except I sound a whole lot calmer, and I bang a drum at random intervals. So there's that. There's karaoke. There's bonus content that will come out as it goes because I'm bored and I'm locked up, and I'm coming up with funny ideas, stand-up clips, things like that. And I'm going to make it worth your while because of those of you that are throwing a little bit in the pot. I want to give you guys more because it means so much to me, and I really want to work for you guys because you guys honestly help me out. So if you're not throwing money into the pot and you just like listening to the podcast, that's fine too. That's totally fine. But just know that you're not getting all of it. Throw $1 in the digital tip jar, or $3 or $5. There's higher tiers that have other explanations to it. But help me help you. And we get on with our lives, and I don't get to work at a restaurant, and maybe I can pay for my utility bill solely by talking into a microphone. That sounds great, doesn't it? Anyhow, thank you guys so much for listening. Here's me talking about death. I'm a young person complaining about pain. Like, you're just young, you're able-bodied. Yeah, sort of. My neck hurts from vigorously headbanging to Korn in my cousin's car because she was going through a mood, and I had the impulsive behavior to headbang violently to jams, dude. I like Korn. I like heavy metal. It's a coping mechanism, and I need to calm the fuck down because, look, Slayer retired at 50. I don't know how they did it, but, they're done. They're hanging up their coats, and I'm 29 going, oh, my neck hurts. How did I ever do this? I'm so glad that I ate junk food and drank heavily while I still was able to, because I can't do that anymore. I can't dive headfirst into a mosh pit and start swinging elbows at people. When the concerts do come back, and the day will come, but I think my moshing days are over. And I was headbanging violently to this music because the family's going through some stuff, and I'm going through. I'm around death. I'm around the conversation of death. I've been around it for weeks and days now, And that is because somebody in the family is dying. And, it really sucks. I'm not so much emotionally affected by this as other members are, because they're closer. I don't have an immediate attack. This is an in-law too, and it's not a blood relative, so it's different. But I'm still empathetic to be sad for my blood relatives that are very sad. They're very upset that this is happening, and I'm kind of giving them the voice of reason to like uplift a little bit with crude humor, a tactical way of looking at things whatsoever. And that's my coping mechanism. I make fun of death. I'm weird around death. I'll talk about the elephant in the room, not like rudely and abruptly around everyone, but when I'm one-on-one with someone, I'm like, hey, look, this really sucks, but look, this is how you're gonna move forward from this, and this passing will suck, and then you move on, because you're not dying tomorrow. You're not dying within the next week, and yeah, you are sad for some point, for a period of time, but you move on. And there's complicated things too. There's things like like when people die, there's the next of kin, there's funeral arrangements, there's who gets what, who gets the money, who gets the house, who gets the stuff. There's all that bullshit. And that kind of thing is, you prepare for someone. This person is terminal. So, like, this has been a very slow crawl. And there's just been a tactical way of looking at things. So the process is just that much easier to deal with. So, mother-in-law's dying, and she was spending her last couple months knitting because her organs are basically failing, and she can't get up and around on her own, so she's sitting on her ass watching TV and, making sweaters and scarves and stuff. Stuff that old people do. Fox News, Trump is God, things like that. And she's not going to be able to finish a scarf, or I don't know what it is exactly, but she was working on something. She's not going to be able to finish it, and she passes on the task to her granddaughter. Finish this scarf for me. I'm not going to finish. And it's like, okay, it's super sweet. It's super sad. And she wants to finish the scarf and all that stuff. And I was, going, hey, look, can you finish it before she dies? So, you don't give the ghost unfinished business. You're going to see a floating unfinished scarf that's being knitted. Like, sage the place. Come on, finish the job. They're going to be, there's dead people that still need to vote. There's dead people that still need to sell their real estate, man. I kid. But that's how fucked up I am. Like, that's my coping mechanism. When my aunt got in a motorcycle accident and lost her leg, I was like, hey, let's go bar hopping, and, when Kobe died, like, that was super sad. That bummed me out. But I made jokes about it, like, immediately after that. It was just like, oh, I guess you can't beat LA traffic. Oh. And in the back of my head, I'm like, man, too soon. Too soon. And then I'm thinking, like, never, not soon enough. It's just how I deal with things. So I've been dealing with death for weeks. Now, like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg just dies, and I made a joke about her within 10 minutes of her dying, and people attacked me for it. People got upset. People got offended, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna stop using Facebook as a litmus test for jokes. I'm done with it now. I'm just gonna write it and see if it works on stage for that crowd. The internet's not watching my shows. That's why I'm not doing Zoom shows. Like, you didn't go to the shows physically. What's going to make me think that you're going to click a link and watch? No, you're not. So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just going to stick to the notebook and write it down. I'm not going to gauge reaction anymore. I'm just going to stop using Facebook as my joke litmus test thing. Because, yes, it was dark. Yes, it was, like, right after, poor timing. But, like, it's a joke. It's a writing exercise. It's how I do. and my coping mechanism is kicking in really fucking hard. So, yeah, I joked about the late Supreme Court justice, and just it was absurd. It was don't lose hope that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. Lose hope because now we are going to have to wear our Marauder football suits with spikes on them so we can scream in dissent and socially distance while learning Mandarin. It's over, and that's absurd, right? It's a joke. Yes, these are dark times. Now office humor has gotten real dark. Just like, hey, I don't have the COVID. I'm able to be here and whatnot. But it's how I deal with things, man. And yeah, people are upset about their rights being taken away. Like, I get it. But think about it for a second. Let's not think with our emotions about this and get all angry and get our fucking non-binary panties in a bunch here. Think about it. Roe v. Wade was passed, so abortions can be legal and safer and all that stuff. That's great. Gay marriage, it's 5 years old, and that's great. But if those things get reversed, the country burns. And they know that. Because why? It's like this. Why would you give, why would you, this is kind of a fucked up analogy. Why would you give a chimpanzee a piece of fruit every day, and he expects a piece of fruit every day? And then you stop giving him a piece of fruit. What happens? He gets upset. He gets angry. He gets frustrated. So once you start giving more equal rights to people that are infringed, minority groups, whatever, and then you take them away, people get upset and people vote, and the country changes, and people break things, and people let their anger get the best of them. I've been there. I protested the election of Donald Trump in 2016. I got it out of my system. Yeah, I was mad. And then I went home. And that was it. And that was that. And I just got to be pissed. Look, I'm not on his team. I made a joke about Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying. And all of a sudden, oh, we should cancel him. He's a Republican. Dude. Hello? I don't like the guy either. I'm on your side. But both sides need to get trolled on, man. They both need to get trolled on. That's just... And I don't even do politics in my act, so it's not like I'm going to use that on stage, because then you divide your audience. But like, a joke's a joke, and I got to get it out there. It's topical. It's going to expire. Let's just get it out there and just get it out of my system. It's how I deal with bad things happening in the world. And some of you guys are like, oh, but you were crying on the podcast episode where Kobe Bryant died, and you didn't post so many jokes about that. I posted 3 jokes about that. I've told people those horrible jokes. And it's like, why are you doing homework and doing digging to cancel someone who barely has any followers, barely has any listeners? Bro, I didn't even write the pilot yet. If anything, bad press is good press. So maybe I should keep making fun of progressives. And, conservatives don't have a say on the internet. Not saying that I'm conservative, but I have friends that are conservative and friends that are liberal. I see memes making fun of either side. And sometimes the conservative ones are pretty fucking funny. And I can't help but laugh at that. And then, like, material comes out of my brain from that, and I litmus tested on the internet. But now I'm tired of doing that anymore. I'm gonna stop doing that because everybody just takes things so seriously. Everybody wants to talk so much about politics on the internet, but won't talk about it at the dinner table because they don't want to feel the physical heat from someone that is disagreeing with you. Y'all ain't ready for that. You think your rights are being taken away? There's forced hysterectomies happening at the border right now. Put on the bonnet, ladies. The Handmaid's Tale is real now. Like, come on. Now you're mad? It's so fucking idiotic and weird to choose a time to be mad and do something about it. Donate money to a cause or whatever. Go vote. You know, and everybody's saying, go vote, go vote. It's still fucking 40 days away, man. We're still like tick-tock, you know, the clock's ticking. We'll see what happens. And speaking of TikTok, that shit's over. So if you ever thought about, you know, escaping from all this bullshit by using TikTok, there's one avenue that's closed for you. I never went into it, but apparently you can make money being TikTok famous and all that. It's like, well, there it goes. Now you got to make content on YouTube just like everybody else. And, you know, there goes the young vote for Donnie there. But the thing is, voters from 18 to 29 don't fucking vote. They're the lowest voting demographic. And now they're going to come out and vote because their favorite app got taken away. If that's what it takes, go for it. Everybody votes for different reasons. Everybody's voting for you know, RBG's replacement and all that. And I'm going to, you know, bite the nail and you know, I'm going to vote for Biden, but it's bullshit. I don't want to, but it's like, what fucking choice do I have? I'm going to make a go for it because the Democrats are going to block this at least for 45 days. And if Trump gets reelected, they got to block this for 4 years, which, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen because the Republicans did the same thing to Obama when he nominated a guy and they blocked it like when there were with 9 months left into his second term. It's like, oh, we don't do this before the election. Like, they're both sides are hypocritical and they both fucking suck. And who knows? Cross this off your bingo apocalypse sheet. Just political heat. And maybe it's not a good time to be on the internets right now because everybody's posting their articles going, oh, I'm so mad. It's just, dude, smoke a joint. Breathe into this. You know, find out what's going on locally. There's hysterectomies happening at the border. Oh, I'm worried about my rights. They're not going to get reversed. You start taking the fruit away from the chimpanzee, it's going to get frustrated and revolt. They know what's going to happen. We're people. They know very well what's going to happen. It's the same reason why we haven't blown up China yet, because both parties know that we're going to wipe each other off the face of the planet, and then we're all dead. And speaking of the planet, it's fucked. So all this other shit that's on the debate table right now doesn't mean anything because a quarter of the country's on fire. There's heat waves in the Arctic. There's fire NATOs. There's earthquakes. There's floods and hurricanes that are going into the Greek alphabet now. Dude, the planet is fucked. Records are being set higher and higher every year. That the singular issue for me is climate change. Because we're all fucked. We can't argue about any of this other stuff if there's no planet to live on. You know, it doesn't mean anything. Nothing matters. Words, rhetoric, opinion, none of it matters if we can't live together. We can't do it. And we deserve everything that has come to us so far because we've been so selfish for so long, and we want to cancel everybody, and we want to be the language police and all that. Everybody wants their way, and it's not always this fucking utopia, man. I'm frustrated. I'm fueled by rage. There's people in my family that are dying, and you know, there's fucking COVID and all that. Forget COVID. That's just one. I've been talking about that for several episodes now. Forget that shit. That's just part of life now. That's how we're gonna do things. You know, everybody's gonna live like Bubble Boy. God damn it, my neck hurts so much. Oh. You know, I always felt like this after a concert. It's like my neck. It's like, you know, those Batman movies in the 90s where they call Batman over like, hey, Batman. And he turns over and he can't turn his neck. He can't have his chin meet his shoulder at all. Like, I can't fucking turn my neck. It hurts. My sciatica's acting up again. I got weed. That's fine too. let's have a brief pause for an inhale of our sponsor, not sponsor, Blackberry Kush from a place. And you know something? Minds are changing about this because my cousin's mother-in-law, who's gonna die any fucking day now, has been using marijuana for the pain and all that. The only option would be like morphine when she's in hospice, but now she's at a point where if she takes marijuana or takes the morphine, she's actually going to die quicker because it allows the body to relax and any inflammatory issues are subsided temporarily. And so all the other organs are like, hey, we're relaxed now. We're chilling. We don't have to work. We don't have to do anything. And then boom, flatline, dead. So, any pain that's going on that she's fighting, it can't be helped. And she's hanging on. They're having people over at the house to like say goodbye and all that. And I told my cousin like, hey, look, if you need to, if you need to get out for a little while, my door's open. I don't have toys and shit, but I got Netflix and I got I got some TV. I got music. I got company. My place isn't fun. Like, hey, let's come hang out. Want to watch me write for 3 hours? But I'm here. And this is a sad time. This is a sad time for me personally. And it's not like a crying kind of sad. I cried when Kobe Bryant died because that was a major part of my childhood, and I saw him like often, on the TV. It was the Kobe Shaq combo, and now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead, and I covered that kind of sadness with jokes because this does suck. I am upset for and worried about the country in general. I just have to deal with it that way because politics is such a complicated issue, and people respond to it, emotionally. Like, it's a sport, politics is a sport. There's people that pay attention more so than ever. I think since Trump has been in office, I think more people have paid attention in politics than ever before. That much I will give that awful man brownie points for, because more people are paying attention. I was never this active during Obama's second term. I was not yet old enough to vote in 2008. I was old enough to vote in 2012 when it was between Obama and Mitt Romney, but I was in college full time. Election day's on a Tuesday. I got a whole day worth of classes and rehearsals and memorizing lines. I was in college, theater college. I was fucking sprinting up and down with a sword in my hand in yoga pants. I was fucking slicing people up, pretending to, at least. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to be, politically active and all that. And then I graduate college. I injure my leg. I'm depressed, and then for like a year and a half, and then for a month and a half, every month and a half, Obama had to come out and go like, hey, another kid got shot. He was unarmed. It sucks. It's a real sad time for the country. Then the election's coming around, and that's when I started paying attention because, I got nothing else going on. So I started paying attention in 2016 when it was like Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Trump, and the clown car of all the other Republicans waiting to take Obama's spot. And, and now we got what we got, and more people are paying attention to what's otherwise a very boring subject that's not very interesting, that a lot of people just don't want to discuss because people talk emotionally about it. And it's like, see, now I'm angry. You ever been high and angry at the same time? That was a very rare moment. I don't think that's going to happen ever again. But dude, chill out. Let's look at the problem objectively. We have a vacancy in the Supreme Court just before a critical election. This is not the first time this has happened. this is the second time, I mean, at least for my recent memory, that this has happened. But the circumstances are a little more extreme and people are a little more on edge. I get that. But we can't lose ourselves in that. We can't, we can't be blinded by rage. We can't be, we have to look at this intelligently and objectively. And here's what's probably going to happen. Vacancy in the House. The Democrats are going to use their own words against them over what they tried to do in 2015. And they all know that they're up for re-election in November. So if this is held and it goes to the way of the Republicans, guess who doesn't have a job anymore, it looks like. So, there's a lot on the table for them too. And if they're smart, they're not going to take these rights away from these people that have had it for 40 years, 45 years, whatever, however long. All the progress that we've made to go back, they know what's going to happen. They know exactly what's going to happen. And by the way, there hasn't been any news from the cops that killed George Floyd. There hasn't been any news on the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. That's kind of subsided because it's an election year. We got three huge subjects going on. And the news only wants to focus on one thing, is that what is the hottest thing right now? What's getting ratings? And now we're like numb to this. 200,000 Americans dead from a virus? Whatever. We'll just sweep that under the rug because the Democrats are dragging a corpse around to beat a guy who's on, amphetamines, snorting coke and doing meth and all that shit. And everyone's fucking mad. It's amazing. I don't have the enough fuel in the tank to do this for another 6 minutes because I ranted for 12 minutes before this recording and I didn't word it out right. I'm not reading off of anything. I'm keeping it organic. I'm not reading off ads. I'm not reading off opinion pieces or anything. I'm not sourcing material. I'm not, hey, Jamie, pull that up. I'm not giving you facts here. I'm just letting loose on the shit that's going down. And I kind of needed to state my honor to anyone that gives a fuck. I had to defend myself. I'm like, oh shit, am I gonna lose friends? Am I gonna get canceled? Bro, I didn't write the pilot yet. I'm nobody. Who cares? It's a little shorter, but that's okay. Just got to put in the reps because I went almost 3 weeks without doing a pod, and here I am back again within a week. So, we're doing it. We're here. We're queer. We take it in the rear. Whatever. Okay, thanks. Bye.